Former FBI Director James Comey has officially been indicted. He was charged Thursday with 2 counts, including making a false statement while testifying before Congress 5 years ago and obstruction of a congressional proceeding.
The indictments come days after President Trump seemed to urge Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute the former FBI director. Comey posted a response video on Instagram saying that he is innocent, and while there is a cost to standing up to President Trump, he will not, quote, live on his knees.
All right, joining us now, our chief of analyst, Khalif Rhodes, to break this down. Khalif, your thoughts on the indictment, also the thoughts on the timing of this, because the statute of limitations on what Comey could be charged with just days away.
Days away, and I mean, I get Game of Thrones references. Comey does not want to bend the knee. He's like, I'm not going to fall down in his approach, and he believes that what he did at the time was accurate. I have a couple of opinions about it in terms of timing. Obviously, statute of limitations is ending, and so I want to go ahead and get it in, or we'll miss it, and there's never an opportunity. President Trump has talked about this for a long time. I'm not in the era of I've never seen a president tweet to his attorney general, listen, I need you to go ahead and take care of this. Basically, these are the 3 people I want you to go after: Letitia James, Comey, and Schiff, and I need you to do it now. Time is of the essence. And he was happy when the indictment ran up. Just like when President Trump was indicted, they've submitted this information in front of a grand jury. A grand jury has now handed up an indictment. Now you'd have to see if you're able to go forward and be successful at trial. Unlike President Trump's, this one has distinct differences. Specifically, there were a number of career prosecutors within the office that had advised that the likelihood of success in this case at trial is 0 to none, and the likelihood of even getting a grand jury indictment was significantly low. They submitted 3, only received 2. That's not how it normally happens. When you go to grand jury, there's no other side. So it's saying you didn't score any points, you didn't have any defense. That's what that amounts to. So of the 3 charges, one of them was wholly dismissed by the grand jury. The other 2 were there. If you're looking forward for this going to trial, as Comey said, I anticipate he is found not guilty clearly.
Whether or not, however far this goes, accountability at the highest level is important. Doesn't matter what side, whoever is in office. There are some suggestions that this could be a weaponization of the Justice Department. Where are you with this? Because I'm sure we all agree that accountability is important. Accountability,
transparency, all of those things are, I think, important in our judicial system, in our process. I mean, if you don't have transparency in the process, then folks will just step outside of the process, and we don't want that. We don't want vigilantism. We don't want folks taking the law into their own hands. We want to say, hey, you have done something wrong. Go through the legal process, innocent till proven guilty, and then either you will be found guilty, have your punishment, or not. But the weaponization, I've hit on it a couple times with our hits recently, that yes, this is something that President Trump said that the Biden administration was doing, that they were using the power and the weaponization of the Department of Justice to go after political rivals. And this is exactly now what this administration is doing. And I hate to see where it's taking us as a country in terms of the law, as someone that practices in this profession, that the prosecutors have a higher burden. They have an obligation to not bring malicious claims. And so if it's found that this is a malicious claim, if it's found that this has no right in being in front of any type of jury trial, not a grand jury, but a jury trial, I likely suspect that the person that brought these claims, the Attorney General now, that actually has no prosecutorial experience, that was doing insurance work prior to doing this individual may lose her license, because this is the type of thing that happens for prosecutorial misconduct.
And quickly here, Comey had posted an Instagram video saying, let's have a trial. We're in uncharted waters. What would that even look like?
So that would scare me. As someone that has been in trial a number of times, as someone that has went up against career prosecutors, if a career prosecutor is telling you, I'm ready to go to trial, you probably want to be ready, because I can guarantee he recognizes that I have done the things that are within the scope of the law, that you don't have the necessary things to prove and convict me at trial, so the likelihood of you succeeding are low. So if he thought he had even the slightly amount of being able to be convicted at trial, he wouldn't have put out that video. This man has done this for his entire career as a prosecutor. He knows what they need to prove, and he knows how to defend it. So I look forward to watching this as it unfolds. But I don't got a crystal ball, but I would be shocked if this guy is convicted or pleads to anything.
Again, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, weighing on that. Enough to get indictments. We'll see what happens if it goes to trial.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.